Good morning, everybody. I'm Luke Sullivan with Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We are just north of Denver, Colorado, off Interstate 25. You can't miss us. We've got a ton of inventory, and behind me today is a brand new one. Just came in over the weekend from Logan. It's a Logan Coach Bullseye 3-horse bumper pull. And I know the bumper pull kind of opens up a lot of different tow vehicles for people too. So if you have questions about that, we'll give you some contact info for me at the end of it about tow vehicles, about tow ratings, about the weights of this and the capacities, etc., etc. So we'll get into what I call the business end of things a little bit really quick. Again, bumper pulls can kind of open up a lot of different tow vehicles, so maybe some people that are getting new into towing. First and foremost, the size ball that you need for this trailer is 2 5/16 inch. This is your coupler, that's your closed position, and then you have a safety as well that will always go through and act as a last resort. Heavy duty safety chains, you can see they have a twist in them. Anytime we talk about, especially out here in Colorado, summertime with fire danger, don't drag your chains. That's a good way to shorten your chains and make it so that they don't drag between your trailer and your tow vehicle, and always cross those between your trailer and your tow vehicle. Over here we have it's tucked away and zip tied right now, but we have a breakaway cable for our emergency breakaway system, and then a 7-pin connection that is what everything is utilizing now in our late model tow vehicles and trailers. And we have a lot of different functions of that. Primarily that's running our running lights, our turn signals, our brake lights, and also very importantly out here in the mountains, our brakes. So we have brakes on both axles on this trailer. We'll talk a little bit about that too. And then manual hand crank jack. Something that we can change always here at Transwest in our shop. We can do a lot of factory add-ons with Logan. We can get factory parts. If you want to add an electric jack to this, just cranking it is not your cup of tea anymore. Those are things we can add on, and we'll talk about a few other things as we go through the trailer too, that if this trailer checks all your boxes except for 1 or 2 of those things, we can help you out with that. So let's look in the tack room really quick. Very well equipped. Excuse me, allergies are getting me today. You might lose me to a sneezing fit at some point, but really well equipped trailer. We've got a lot of options in here for what we've got going on. So 3-horse bumper pull. We've got 3 saddle racks, fully adjustable. There is a knob on the back. We don't need any tools for it. We can very easily loosen that and lower and raise these to suit anywhere we want, and then raise them back up as well. Nice to have that option. And then the best part about these saddle racks is I'm obviously not a tall guy, so it's really nice to be able, right at chest height, lower than my belly height here at waist height, I can throw saddles on. I don't have to step into a tack room and trip over stirrups and girths and all of that kind of stuff. And then swing it right in, it's out of your way and you're done and forget it. And then also, the door is well equipped as well. So some blanket pulls here, really nice to put these on. Double-ended snap, we can swing these out if we're sitting at the show overnight for the weekend, and we've got some sweaty pads. Nice to kind of get these out, get some air running over them. And then nice little brush box down here in the bottom as well. I like this, easy access. First thing you get to when you're pulling up to a show, whether it's a bit of fly spray, some show sheen, some hoof paint, something like that, whatever you want, that's easy access while you're getting in and out of things. And then in the door itself too, we do have a small bus window there, excuse me. Nice, again, like I said, same theory with those blanket pulls, swinging them out if you have the door open. But if you're running down the road and you've got a lot of sweaty tack and equipment in there, nice to be able to open that up and get a little bit of fresh air going into there. So with the saddle rack swung in, you'll see you can still make your way inside of here. We've got a lot of empty space back here in the corner. Back behind me, we do have a full-size matching spare. Really nice spot too. We can obviously get a trunk over here and tuck it in over in this empty space too if we're looking for that. And then you'll notice a theme going around these Logans. I should have pointed it out at the hitch, but everything that's coated in this black coating, very similar to a truck bed liner, vortex liner is what they call it. Everything on these Logan trailers is coated in that. Really tough material, holds up really well. They do it in their goosenecks below or just behind the gooseneck drop wall, on the gooseneck drop wall, so holds up well behind pickups on gravel roads out here in Colorado especially. Acts as a nice sound deadener, and it's a really tough material. You'll see it's throughout the trailer. It's in our horse space as well, so in lieu of kick mats, really nice material. And then just above that, this is our dividing wall, obviously between our tack room and our load space, but we've got a fully carpeted partition up here on the top half of it, with from width to width or side to side the full width of the trailer, with some bridle hooks there, so we've got a lot of hanging storage. The carpeted aspect behind it is a twofold. First and foremost, we've all seen the used trailers. We all own the trailers with the bare metal or bare paint or aluminum behind there, and you have your headgear, whether it's bridles and bits or lead shanks, whatever it is that you've got hanging there, leaving those kind of half U-shaped marks from riding down the road. So this eliminates that. And then secondarily, just like the Vortex liner too, it is a nice sound deadener. This is obviously our shared wall with our horse's space. This is their head right up here, so acts as a nice sound deadener that we don't have that metal on metal banging around inside these tack rooms, excuse me. So, and then carrying on, wasted space in all of these, especially these slant load trailers, is that little corner where you lose a lot of space back there. So nice to have this corner water tank in here. Just a real easy cap at the top of it to fill it up. Bring your hose from your barn in here, pull your cap off, fill it up, set a timer so you don't forget about it. Trust me, I've done it. And then you've got 2 valves down below. So one valve, you can very easily fit a 5-gallon bucket underneath of that and fill it from there. And then you probably saw on our bridle hooks too, we'll give you a little 10-foot hose with it as well. You can hook it to that lower valve and run it out as well. Now this is only just a gravity feed system, but nice to be able to bring some water from home. Whether you're out trail riding and you don't have access to it, you're showing in those swing seasons, and maybe the facilities are turning off their water, you have those options. One more thing inside of here, we do have control of our lights, both the awning light or the floodlight outside and also the LED inside. So everything on the trailer is going to be run off of LEDs as well. So really low power draw off of those. Can leave those running off your truck, obviously, the way this is configured, for quite a while and not have to worry about it. As we go around the trailer, we'll start closing it up just a little bit, so you get an overall idea of the layout of the trailer. But a couple things we do have going on here alongside of our tack room door. A couple tie rings, 3 tie rings to be exact. Really nice spot, obviously, if you were able, parking allowed, tie up all 3 over here, and you're right next to your tack room, so it's going to be easy to saddle up. We will mirror image that on driver's side as well. And then you'll see above those tie rings, we've got some oversized bus windows with the drop windows on head side that we'll show you in a little bit. A lot of air can move through these trailers, so nice to be able to regulate that too. Obviously, wintertime you don't want a full drop window open or a full bus window open, so you can crack these a little bit and control that amount of air that you have coming through. And then we talked about floodlights above our tack room. We've got a load light over the rear doors, and then we're going to have a tacking area or a tie area, tie rail area floodlight over both fenders of the trailer. So again, parking allows, whatever it is that you're up to. If you're getting situated for the night or getting ready to pull out somewhere, you can flip on all the lights on this trailer and have a nice glow around you and see what you're doing, pick up your stuff from the show from a long week, and see what you're doing. Makes a big difference. And then we'll have control of these lights. There'll be a switch on the rear corner of the trailer. Talk about axles and brakes really quick. 5,200 pound Dexter torsion axles with electric drum brakes. So let's talk about brakes for a second. All 4 wheels and tires, all 4 wheels on this trailer are equipped with brakes. So the way that you have control of those is an electric trailer brake controller in your tow vehicle. Most modern day half-ton trucks, even your larger SUVs, come with an integrated brake controller from the factory. If that's not something you have, You have to have it first and foremost, especially if you're pulling a trailer of any kind of size and weight, especially with live animals in it, but especially if they are equipped with those electric brakes. You need a way to control them. So it's a fluid setting, 0 through 10, and that's ever changing. Weather conditions, weight of the trailer, but again, we want to be able to make sure that you have control over that setting. And if you don't, like I said, have a factory equipped brake controller, we can add one for you here or in our shop. You can find them online. Some of them are a pretty easy plug and play option. So we'll work our way around to the back of the trailer. We are a 50-50 split door back here. Gives us some loading options. Nice to be able to sneak in one side or the other. And then, like I said, the theme that you see thoroughly throughout the horse area of this trailer is that vortex liner. So black liner everywhere. Got it on the back of our doors. We've got it on our head wall and our hip wall and the partition wall up front as well. And then what we'll do is, we are still a traditional wood floor, but you'll see that it's completely coated with that vortex lining as well. So gonna hold up really, really well over time, gonna protect it really well. Our suggestion with any style floored trailer, whether it's a rubber matted trailer, whether it's a Sure Grip from Logan, whether it's a worm flooring, is depending on usage, but once a year, get your mats out, get your pressure washer out, do a good deep clean on these trailers and keep an eye on things. And that goes for the aluminum floored or the wood floored trailers. So our suggestion, pull these mats and you'll have really good luck. Just practice good housekeeping. So number 1 partition, or the number 2 partition back here, is a telescoping divider. You'll see it's padded as well, but the number 1 reason they do a telescoping is so that we can pin it flat flush against this wall over here. So whether we're loading up some horses, we've got one that we know we need to take a little bit of time with, and we like just to have this out of the way and set it and forget it for a little while. Whether you're multi-purposing this trailer and gonna get a load of hay, gonna run the lawnmower in for service in the spring or fall or something like that, you have that ability to pin that over just like that. And then same as well for our number 1 partition too. So just some double-ended snaps. Really nice to be able to have that option. And then leads your way straight into your number 1 horse stall. So we can see our drop windows in the front corner up there. We'll talk a lot more about those when we get outside, but nice to have that view from in here, what they're seeing. Logan does a nice little screen there. It is just attached with some Velcro. Easy to pull off. We have had quite a few customers that say, I've got a little bit of a mouthy friend that might want to pull that off. So of course that's always an option. And then a couple provisions too, if you wanted to do some corner hay feeders there, a couple spots where you can snap those in and have that convenient spot. Again, with that drop window, easy to feed, easy to get what you need to. And then above their heads on each horse, they've got their own tie ring. So nice to be able to have that option if you want to tie a hay net as opposed to using that hay bag or your horse's head, you have that option. And then above each horse, we have in each stall, right at their head, a 2-way roof fence. So summertime, hopefully we're about done with it now. You can open these and suck a lot of air in. If you combine that with your drop windows and your bus windows, you can move a lot of air through these. And then wintertime, nice to be able to open those in reverse. You can, 3 horses in a small trailer like this, you can build a lot of moisture and condensation up in that roof line. So nice to be able to move some of that air out of the top line of this trailer. So fully padded dividers, we saw those as we were pinning those up against the wall. We'll start closing those back up. You will notice on hip side as well, each horse has an individual light. So we do have control at the rear post with a switch, but we can also individually control them as well. So nice to have that option nighttime if you're doing a little bit of overnight travel and don't want to blast the whole trailer full of light. You can kind of run one of those. Pull our telescoping divider back out and then slam latch those guys shut. Really nice. One-handed operation, makes it easy to use. So close our doors back up here. And you will see Logan does a nice job, a big long weather strip here along this door. So we have a lot of dirt roads, a lot of gravel roads out here in Colorado. And we found not just on the dirt roads and the gravel roads, but on the snowy days as well. We found a strip of snow, a layer of dust inside the trailer. So it's just one more way to kind of cut down on some of that stuff that we see, especially out here locally on the roads that we're running down. So we talked about our light control switches here. We've got a couple toggle switches right there. One of these is going to run the 3 sides floodlights for us, and then one will run the interior lights for us as well. And we talked about those all being LED, but so are our tail lights and our marker lights. All LED, all really low power draw. And then integrated into that, part of that 7-pin connection, there's no big change to that, no change at all really, just been a really underutilized system, is a reverse light too. So you've got a couple white LEDs in there. Makes it really nice at night. Whether it's your own spot and you've been parking in it forever just to light up that little reference point you use, or you're at a show and you're backing into somewhere new and it'll just help you see a little bit more. That makes a whole heck of a lot of difference. So working our way to driver's side, I'm gonna start dropping a couple of these. And I think you'll notice that the first one that I reached for, we talked about my height being an issue at the saddle racks. But the same with the drop windows. So you'll see the little bar on the drop windows. Instead of having to get all the way up to that latch, or some manufacturers do them here on the side, which is still a pretty good reach for me, they've done this nice bar here that brings it all the way down, almost to eye level for me, which is really nice. And that's how you get your drop windows up and down. They do take a little bit of a slam to get them back closed again, but nice to not have to reach. Still have that small bus window in there like we were talking about. Summertime is coming near an end, so we'll start thinking about those cold days and trailering on those days. You're obviously not going to want to blast them with this full window of drop down, so you've got that bus window option as well. I like Logan's little mechanism that they have here. So it's a spring-loaded latch. The pins come out of a little track. Your center bar is your release. So pull that down, drop your window down, and you have easy access. Like I said, if you're getting ready to unload, if you're at a fuel stop or loading, nice to have this open. Maybe make it a bit more inviting for your horses. And then right before you hit the road, obviously pop this guy back in and hit the road. And then we talked about the screen being Velcro as well. It's a really easy thing to pop off of there if you're afraid they're gonna get a little lippy with it or mouthy with it and pull it off. Nice to be able to have that option. And then just like we said, maybe you've got a couple that don't get along or parking doesn't allow. We've got some tie rings over here, just mirror image of the passenger side as well. So gives you some more options and gives you that versatility that makes it a lot easier to have this little run around. Again, like I said, if it's your first trailer and you're looking to get into the game and buy some of that freedom that you get of having this trailer with your own horse, or you're looking for a small run around and you're looking to supplement maybe a bigger trailer and something to run around town and do some smaller trips, want to keep a lot of those amenities that you're used to having or that you would expect to have in your one and only trailer. So if you have questions about the trailer, like we talked about, this opens up a lot of tow vehicle possibilities. So weight capacities, tow ratings of tow vehicles, please feel free to reach out to me. My email's down below, luke.sullivan@transwest.com. You can call or text me, 859-509-1282. If you have questions about this trailer specifically, please feel free to reference it via its stock number. That is 5N251023. Thanks for your time today, everybody. También hablo español.